Welcome to this class of Yin and Sound, an invitation into relaxation and sensitization as we slow down enough to attune our nerves to receive all the rich information and sensory data that in every moment of our lives is yearning for the light of our awareness. I've set myself up with a cozy blanket, with props, with socks, with a jumper. Make sure you have all that you need before we nest and rest. I'm going to invite you to start lying on your back. So coming to lie down in a shavasana. Taking up space with your body, allowing your legs to separate, for the backs of your hands to fall into the earth, for the back of your head and the back of your heart to feel cradled, swaddled, held in Earth's embrace. We'll be starting this class with a body scan. Together, we'll be mapping and tracing area by area, piece by piece, through this incredible vehicle of experience that is our body. To start to turn everything online. With the aid of Benny's rich encouragement through sound. You're invited to turn every cell into a listening device, into an ear, an oracle. You're invited to allow every sense gate to really blossom and flower. As we rest back and take away any need to strive, to push, to over effort, to get anywhere, to be anyone. And instead we simply hold space for what is. So in these first few moments of centering and arriving, just start to attune to how you feel. The quality of your breath. The quality of your energy, of your life force. Maybe noticing already little aches and creaks in your physical body, in your emotional being. And welcoming all to this experience. This entire practice is dedicated to embodied curiosity, of welcoming every part of ourselves, the full spectrum experience, denying nothing, repressing nothing, in fact quite the contrary. Allowing all the pieces, all ages and stages of ourself to be held in this warm, compassionate embrace of the light of our presence. And so the invitation is there with your outer seeing eyes closed as you soften the veils, the curtains of your eyelids, to feel the backs of your eyes flicker open. That energy in the form of pure awareness can start to travel inside. We can start to map and trace our inner experience with the light of your internal touch. So I'm going to invite you to begin by summoning up the totality of your awareness to merge your mind with your right hand. To place your mind inside your right hand and to listen. This powerful verb, to listen, to attune, to receive. Noticing what you notice come alive in your right hand as you meet your mind with all of the sensory information that is resting there. And maybe you notice temperature, texture, tingling, or maybe a sense of numbness, and know that that too is welcome. What can you feel? What can you notice come alive in your right hand when you slow down enough to truly listen? And as we start to map our way through our body, allow your mind in this so welcoming, curious, an awareness born of absolute awe and wonder as you journey up your right arm, noticing the tickle of your internal touch as you feel your right forearm, right elbow, and right upper arm start to become alive. Breathing and sensing now up into your right shoulder. And as you do, notice, can you relax more? Can you feel the fabric of your skin wrapping your shoulder joint just start to melt and soften and fall back into the womb of the earth? As you start to travel down your right side body, notice what you feel between your ribs, coming to the front, the top, and the side of your right hip and pelvis. Integrating down your right leg, prodding your right thigh, your buttock with your attention. Can you feel your right knee get heavier? Can you feel all the vibrancy, all the activation, all the energy in your right leg, your right calf, your right shin? All the way down to the ankle, the top of your right foot, the sole of your right foot. Feeling every toe on your right foot as if it were an antenna, attuning, listening, sensing, feeling all. Your whole right side now shimmering in radiance, awake and present as we journey across to the left-hand side. So interested, so curious about what is it like in your left hand in this moment, in this extraordinary moment. What do you feel in the center of your palm, in the tip of each finger on your left hand? Can you notice your left forearm come alive with energy as you place your mind inside your left arm? Palpating your left elbow with your inner awareness. massaging up your left arm towards the shoulder. Listening from inside your left armpit. All the way down your left side body. Aerating, ventilating, hydrating. Down towards the hip. And allow every sensation to be totally welcome, and just know that it doesn't always have to feel good. In fact, it often doesn't. Feeling the rise and fall, the surge and spark of light, of life, flashing in and out of the cells of your left leg. Perhaps a prickle or a tingle. All the way to the knee, the back of the knee. And see if you can melt the tissues whether you touch with your attention. Down your left leg, the shin, the calf, all the way to the ankle. All the way across the canvas of the top of the foot. And every cell at the base of your left foot. This sense of ripening, of softening, of widening the spaces inside of you. Every toe on your left foot, a listening device, an oracle. Full body attunement. Turning every light on the switchboard online. Your whole left side now, alive, open, aware. As we travel up to the very top of the skull, seeing if you can start to melt the skin encasing your skull, allowing your brain to mollify. The right hemisphere of your brain, the left hemisphere of your brain softening into the earth. Unhooking from the mental dots, the details, the barnacles, the burdens that hold us back from feeling fully alive. Staying connected if you can to the level of pure sensation as you map now the mask of your face. Not thinking about what you can feel, just pure feeling. The right eye and the left eye, can you feel the density of your eyeball? Like a beautiful stone or a gem resting in the eye socket. Feeling the breath tickling the tip of your nose, washing through the inner lines of your nasal passage. Your upper lip, your lower lip, and the place where the two lips meet, the tenderness of that internal kiss. Your cheeks soft, your throat relaxed. Tracing this zone of receptivity, of openness down the throat to your heart. Seeing if you can visualize your heart cocooned, held, wrapped in your own being, swaddled in the sound, in the melody, encased in your own internal love song. down into your solar plexus. Noticing any density, any gripping, any holding, without rejecting, without needing to make sense of, just noticing the texture, the edges of what you can feel, the color, down into your pelvis, the sacred waters of sexuality, down into your genitals, and all the way to the base of the spine. And then seeing yourself from above, almost like you are looking in a mirror. This global vision of yourself from above, fully unified, fully integrated, beyond the separate parts. Front side, back side, right side and left side, meeting at the heart. Your whole body breathing. Your whole body alive with light, with sound, with energy. Resting in that, resting in your own presence, trusting that actually that is all we are required to do. That is the answer to those questions of how do I do it? How do I heal? How do I awaken? How do I live from my deepest truths? Is simply to show up with this awareness born of endless awe, with embodied compassion, welcoming every shade, every color, every frequency of life. That's the answer to that big question of what is the meaning of life? It is to live fully each moment. It is to feel each moment come alive with so much life. So as you hold yourself here, caring for yourself really on this deep and profound level of simple presence. It's an interesting paradox that we think we have to add on so much more, but the entire practice is about doing less. Is releasing of the pushing, of unburdening the mental dogma, the drama, of becoming someone else, of striving. To simply feel your human held by your being that is so complete, that was never unhealed, that was never in need of transformation. So from this place of feeling rested and grounded, of feeling fully oriented in the here and now, of allowing your heart really to break open in vulnerability, which, as I'm sure we all know, is the purest form of courage. We can move from that place. Slow, integrated movement, keeping your eyes closed for as much of the practice as feels right for you. and taking your time and nobody else's time. Just starting to really wake up what it would be like to draw some curious circles through the ankle joints. And as you do, to continue to place your mind in your feet, to continue to spread your awareness to any part of your body that you feel light up or heat up. As you slowly start to hug one knee at a time in towards your belly, to notice what you feel in your back body, to notice what you feel across the sacrum, the hips. And super lazily we'll allow both knees to just pour over to the right hand side, and the left arm will spill open as we come to a twist. And just notice the tendency of the human mind to take over, for energy to catapult vertically upward into the realm of thinking, of analyzing. Just know that this is totally normal. But what we are rewiring, what we are trying to repattern, is to continue to tether our attention back down into the realm of the body. To allow this meditation practice to really be a bottom-up experience, starting from what you feel. And so perhaps you use the breath as a powerful anchor, that rise and fall of life. Or perhaps you start to feel that prickle and spread of heat travel across the left shoulder, down the left side ribs. You can turn your head any direction that feels best for you, whether that's chin, same direction as the knees, to feel that tug of the connective tissue across the scalene muscles in the neck, the throat. Or perhaps allowing the head to sway in the direction of the extended arm. And just knowing that there is no right way or wrong way. There is simply your way. This is the absolute privilege of home practice. Nobody is judging you. There is no one to compare against. How do you want to move when nobody is watching? Who are you when you are on your own? This is the sacred space of home practice, held in community altogether. So with every breath, allow again the density of your bones to weld with the skin of the earth beneath you. The purpose of the yin practice is a little different to restorative yoga. It is actually to awaken sensation. So notice the tendency of the mind to reject, the tendency of the mind to run away or brace and grip and fight against activation. What would it be like instead to soften more? To welcome that tingle that you can start to feel in the fingertips. To invite in or become more curious about the penetrating heat running up the forearm. Perhaps the intensity across the neck. Perhaps mapping and tracing the webbing of sensation as it miraculously journeys through your entire body. This is the art of true meditation. It is not a top-down experience of controlling the body with the mind. It's allowing the mind to stay so open and interested levels previously never even thought possible. Let's enjoy one more full body breath on this side. In slow motion in your time, allowing the knees to spill back through center. We'll move straight into the second side, really languidly but slow, without rushing anything, without skipping over the transitions. Allow your knees to drape and pour to the left as your right wing now opens out of the heart, sensing into any props, any angles, any directions for the knees, the head, the arm. A reminder that this is nothing to do with what it looks like. This is everything to do with what is your felt sense medicine. What is your prescription for your practice in the here and now? It will be different from yesterday, different from myself or the person practicing alongside you. So I won't be speaking too much throughout these postures. Instead, I would love to invite you to really hear and feel Benny's music, communing with the language of your cells, the language of the body that doesn't speak in man-made words but quakes and surges in the intuitive realm of poetry, of music, of color, of visual images and pictures, of emotion. From time to time, I will speak up to invite you to drop back into sensing, to notice where perhaps there are unconscious patterns of holding or hovering above the surface of the earth. Noticing if your back teeth have clamped down or your eyebrows have furrowed. Perhaps with a deep open mouth exhale, you can feel the whole body sigh. Feeling the whisper from lips on the exhale to feel that outflow of release, taking with it some of the debris, the residue clinging to the inner line of that lung, of the arm. And from here, I'm going to invite you to recollect that right arm so you're rolled off to the left-hand side in that little embryonic spiral, that fetal position. Feel the deep rest, the nurture of this gesture, of this full body mudra, of coziness, of surrender, of embodied vulnerability, of the self-love that can be cultivated when we coddle ourselves like a newborn baby. That amount of awe at the preciousness of your embodied vulnerability. And then using the right hand for support next to the face, really slowly pressing your way up without going too quick, keeping the head low perhaps as eventually we come up to seated. And I'm going to invite you into Badakanasana. Soles of feet together, knees wide, and you can choose any shape, whether the heels are close towards your groin or further away from you. And we're coming straight into a forward fold. So I'd love to invite you to really let the weight of the brain drop. And it's totally up to you to support yourself as needed with blocks, with cushions, with a bolster, to support underneath the knees, to support the weight of your head, or to just allow gravity to have you. And to know this is a really slow, introspective journey. Without moving too deep, too quickly, really, it's like a breath by breath, moment to moment, folding inside ourselves. And with that, of course, it's a simultaneous unfolding of opening up to really all of the treasures buried deep inside that can sometimes be guarded by our most fierce, fire-breathing dragons. The beauty of that, this temple that is this body vessel, this amazing meditation hall and temple that reveals the union of such polarity and opposite. Of the light, of the dark, of the solar, the lunar, the yang, and of course the yin side. And really feeling the potency of this shadow sensitive inner detective work as we travel inside looking for treasures, digging for diamonds in the darkness. Especially now as we start to enter the doorway of the pelvis, this gateway really between the upper and the lower body that stores so much somatic stress, tension, for some of us, trauma. And without feeling the label of that word, really trauma more than anything is just a residue that the intelligence of your cells holds onto. A blockage, density, thinking of it more in these somatic verbs. And so once again, the invitation is to map what you feel with your awareness. To notice how quick the mind is to resist that. We start to notice that more and more, that the mind resists discomfort. this quick tendency to actually disembody, to abandon ourselves, especially when we need ourselves the most. So for me, this practice is such powerful medicine to re-embody, to remember, to reconnect these beautiful limbs back with our mind in an integrated present day awareness. Few more breaths, really allowing with every exhale the mask of the face to drop. You can even massage with your hands, your eyebrows. No one is watching you. What, again, how do you want to move while no one is watching? Maybe that's opening the mouth really wide to unhinge the jaw, to squish up the face, and then feeling the full relief after that liberated release. Maybe it's a gentle release of the chin from side to side, like an unwinding of the neck. Last couple of breaths here. Empathizing with you, attuning with you. Breath together. Open mouth sigh. Slowly staying connected to all of that without slingshotting out. Start to climb back up the ladder of the spine, because we're adding on. Keep the head low, or maybe the eyes stay closed. If the eyes open, it's just like you're looking through the filter of your eyelashes as you pick up the knees with your hands to help you open the legs wide. We're going straight into a wide-legged straddle. From the outer to the inner groins, the inner pelvis. Let's stay sitting up tall and just even notice where your mind goes to here. This is an intense shape for all of us. So notice if there's an unconscious gripping, clenching in the buttocks, in the groins, in the inner thighs, and see if on an exhale you can allow your lower belly to really drop. to widen, for the base of the spine to open, for the soles of your feet to ripen once again, to lift the shoulders, to slide them back and let them drain down. And even here, I want to encourage that, there's this idea that yin needs to be a static, held practice. I disagree. There's something very different about fidgeting and unconscious movement, and then that slow, really curious unraveling of connective tissue. So for me, in my yin practice, so even I encourage you to do this with me as we're seated. The fingertips can be in front of you or propping back behind you. Just again, allow the chin and the neck to start to explore the sky. And just really relax through the jaw, this gentle unhinging or cracking the jaw open. And you might feel like a really natural yawn be born from that place. With your heart full, with your belly relaxed, just allow this serpentine, really curious movement take you into your hips. Yeah, so this sensual exploration of the spine to allow the lower body to relax. And so I really encourage this side to side exploration of just kind of testing the temperature of the left side, of the right side, of wading in breath by breath so we're not shocking the nervous system. We stay really in the parasympathetic realm of deep rest, of digest, of release. And I'm going to invite you, continuing in this kind of meandering way, for your fingertips to walk across towards your right side. Super slowly, breath guided. Your fingertips can be on the inside of the leg, or you can frame the leg, and then super slow, just start to pour the weight of your torso towards the right. You can support yourself with a bolster or a block underneath the forearm or for the skull. Using the props in any which way you feel you need to take out the muscular efforting so that we can actually work deeper on the more subtle yin tissues, such as connective tissue in the joints, such as the connective tissue of fascia, this webbing that wraps the whole body from outer layer to deep core, that coats every muscle, every nerve, every bone. And this is where the meridians run. This is where our nadi lines flow. Our pranic body, our energy systems. And this is also the flow gates that get blocked. This is also where the tension and the trauma stagnates. And so why would we ever want to impose more limits, more containment? So allow yourself to be free to feel and even to move. And for me, it's just often this subtle undulation, like there was a wave at the base of my spine. It can almost be imperceptible from the outside, but just this kind of gentle rocking or swaying, again, like you were cradling a newborn baby. Noticing what you feel in the right groins. The deep belly of the hamstring. Perhaps the intensity starting to spark and surge up your back body. Feel all of this radical Shakti. All of the these shimmering, shape-shifting expressions of grace, of the mystery and the miracle of what it is to be alive, what it feels like to be a human and to have a body. This is it. All of this rich somatic data that is what we get to work with in this lifetime. All of the meaning hidden and buried inside these cells. A few more breaths on this side. Allowing yourself to make sound, allowing your body to express all the symptoms, all the sighs, the groans, the surges, the sparks that are natural, that are organic. It's like returning to our undomesticated nature, our original wild being. And slowly, in your organic pattern of exploration, staying connected to this inner pilgrimage, as we start to explore the opposite side, let the hands just take you there moment by moment. As we start to coax open again from the inside out, and we'll meet on the left-hand side using the props, using the earth, using the weight of the sky, using Benny's sound, my voice, and the power and capacity of your own heart to hold space for all. You are so much stronger and wiser than you think. Not from a top-down approach, but from the body up. Nothing to make sense of, nothing to analyze. Just immersing yourself in pure sensation. That's that gentle sway or a circling through the neck or an opening the mouth so wide like a snare or a growl or a howl at the moon or a deep groan or a deep sigh. Stay super close to what you feel. To what your body knows is true. To what it is asking for you to stay close to. Motion from there, the hands will journey is really yours and yours alone. And we're all here holding space for each other. So whether that's staying propped up on your palms and your straight arms, or forearms coming down to the support of a cushion or a block, or allowing the belly to spill, the shoulders to sag, and the weight of your skull once again to drop. I'm going to seal my lips so I can be in process alongside you, and allowing Benny to share his intuitive wisdom that is spontaneous, that is responding also in real time, of feeling the flow state that is moving through each one of us when we drop out of the rational linear mode and instead attune and converse with the circular, non-linear realm of the body, of poetry, of music, of artistry, of inner intelligence. Imbibing all of that life, not just through your nose, but through every pore, the soles of your feet, the tip of the skull, the tip of your tailbone, feeling fully alive, shimmering with awareness, with the miracle of your presence. As you super slowly prop yourself up and slow motion start to back out. Slow motion, allowing the hands to walk back in and taking all the time that you need, and remembering that if your body ever tells you to stay, please honor that. But if and when you make your way back up to seated, stay limp in the legs. Just use the hands, maybe one at a time or both knees together, the hands underneath the knees to help close off the pelvis, to close off that area as you give yourself a hug and feel the containment, the safety of your own internal touch. And then just for a moment, lean back. Lean back and allow the weight of the legs to completely drain out of the pelvis. And maybe it's coming all the way down to your forearms, to feel the deep release of opening the floodgates. Of feeling the pelvis open. And here you don't have to be static and stuck. I know for myself it's this curious exploration through the ankles, like really feeling the undamming of the inner rivers and helping mobilize anything that is stuck, any of those repressed, dormant energies, with curious movement, with also your attention and also with breath. It's like really feeling into those places and feeling breath aerate and ventilate and flush out through the feet to be recycled back into the ether. And let's super slowly bend up the knees so the feet are flat on the ground, hip width apart or even wider, and just really curiously that gentle washing through the knees and noticing if you move into really autonomic movement and just stay in this slow motion exploration. So we're not moving unconsciously, but every transition the mind stays connected. It's like one doorway, one threshold at a time. We're asking for permission from the body to open and enter. And then super slowly, when you feel fully satisfied, fully satiated, we'll press our way back up to seated. So the poses are super simple, and that's really the point. We can get so fixated on the outer form that we forget the purpose of these gestures. So I'm going to invite you into simple Sukhasana, cross-legged, right shin stacked in front of left. And we want to toe heel the feet out a little wider and wiggle the feet further forward. So we're creating this square shape. For those of you that have a lot of external rotation, if it feels more interesting for you to stack the right shin on top of the left to come to Agni Sambhasana or double pigeon, you can. But for most of us, this isn't a natural, comfortable shape. And comfortable by means of we want to allow the nervous system to relax. So for me, because I'd like to take this to a forward fold, stacking my right shin front is going to feel more accessible for a full body relaxed gesture. As we invite ourselves once again into the symbol of the bow, of prostrating, of humbling the frontal brain down to the earth, down to the wisdom of the cells. Maybe the hands come out in front. You can come to a prayer mudra and even gently press through these acupressure points at the tip of the eyebrow, or massaging across the scalp, or if you have a block or two to support the skull, or if you're higher up, also know that that is just perfect. There is no striving, there is nowhere to get to. But where you are is just perfect. What is it to feel that actually nothing is missing from this moment? To feel that actually there is so much space around our experience. So much space, so much life, even in those moments where we feel so stuck, so contracted, so tight, so narrow. To remember that we are being breathed by a breathing universe, that we have the whole ocean inside of us. That we simply have to remember the vastness of eternity and infinity embedded in every single cell. To remember that even in the darkness, the mud, the stickiness of what it can be feeling like to be a human, to know that this is the kindling, this is the potent food and fuel for the process of alchemy. So as we nest in, as we heat up those areas of stickiness, of darkness and density with the fire of our compassion, the heat and the light of our awareness, perhaps we feel them transform, transmute, galvanize into gold. The gold of our true nature. That embraces all, that denies nothing. That is the heart of yoga, the heart of true integration. Just like we did in the body scan to begin with. Continue to map and merge what you feel in your buttocks. Massaging with your mind the flesh. Visualizing and unwinding and untethering. Feeling every breath stroke paint up your spine, fertilizing the whole field of your body with this nutriment, the sound medicine, your breath waves, your mind. top leg to unfurl the bottom leg, to just lean back to again welcome in that space into your experience. Do not miss this moment where there's like a blending and a bleeding of where your body finishes and the space around you begins. This dissolution, this recycling into the cosmic soup of the whole as energy particles dart in and out of your body from the space around you, perhaps like fireworks or electricity surging up and down your legs, up and down your spine. What do you see? What can you taste? What can you touch? What is the temperature of your internal experience right now? Introducing some curious exploration, perhaps through the ankles, perhaps the neck, to help in that process of release. And we'll meet eventually in the second side, taking your time to transition. The left shin stacking in front or stacking on top. So mirroring the variation you took on the first side if you can. Noticing we would never want to feel any pain or compression in the knees. We start to be very discerning about the nature of what pain is and that pleasure-pain binary. As we once again start to fold inside ourselves. The pleasure-pain binary is like feeling the eroticism actually of your own internal, deep, visceral massage. And the edge of that feels so raw and alive, ecstatic, dark, that eros, thanatos edge. But without pushing the boundary, without crossing the threshold, we continue to dance the edge so we stay safe, we stay cared for. But simultaneously we therapeutically start to stress the connective tissue, heating up the tissues of the buttocks, the outer hips, as we fold, as we melt, as we soften towards the earth. Permeated with presence, with the awareness, like the sun, heating up with the warmth of compassion, of love. breaths on this side. Noticing if there's the tendency to run away or unconsciously to tighten, to contract, to reject, and just get curious about that. Rewiring our nerves, repatterning, reprogramming the system of fight and flight, instead of presence, of compassion, of attunement. One more full body breath here. Exhale to clear, to cleanse. And once again to reawaken. It's like emerging out of the mud. We allow the spine to erect. Place your hands behind you. Let the top leg drain out and the bottom leg. And let's spill all the way down into Shavasana now. If you need to grab a blanket to cover yourself or to place something across your pelvis, you can. But seeing if you can unfold all the way into this ultimate gesture of receptivity. And not to check out quite yet, but instead to continue to map the echo. To continue to feel your whole body quaking and surging with information, with intelligence. To notice how seldom we pay attention to all of that life. Just like we did at the beginning of class, scan through your body. Scan through your body and notice where you feel the flickers of life. Maybe emotions, tracking, tracing. Every symptom, every sign, every symbol, every sound. As the sensations weave through you and feed out of you. Let's take 3 big breaths together. As you release, let everything drop. 2 more breaths. As you exhale, visualize the debris flushing, clearing, purging out of you, draining out of you. Last full body breath together. Sip in a little bit more air. Exhale to let go. To feel the earth have you, to hold you, to feel empty of agenda, nothing to do, nowhere to be. Allow yourself to drop. It's like even feeling or visualizing yourself soften into the earth a couple of centimeters, making the coziest cocoon or bed for yourself. So your soul is free to fly. Like at the beginning of practice, maybe for a moment, you step out of yourself, visualizing yourself from above. fully integrated, fully whole. As you feel your awareness start to surge upwards, to float with the sound, to fly with the clouds, to commune with the stars, the moon, with the muddy earth, with the infinite ocean. The essence of Shavasana is a deep letting go. And a liberation. as you continue to swim, to soar, to fly, to feel free to be. Perhaps you start to hear or feel this call, a call back from the center of your raw beating heart. That mystic longing, the yearning for communion with self. And as you hear and feel that call, like the tone in Benny's voice, wherever you are on that pilgrimage, whether it's outer space or the depth of the ocean, perhaps you start to make the journey home. The journey home, but different, new, fresh. And perhaps there's a moment where you stand or hover just above your body, looking down, witnessing yourself, resting, witnessing yourself as fully unified, fully whole, with the light of your awareness beaming down at yourself, loving yourself, and with a devotional gesture of embodiment, of connection of spirit and matter, flesh and breath, you choose to once again re-inhabit this exquisite form as you feel yourself plunge back inside. As you feel once again the breath of inspiration, this gust, this wind that comes from nowhere and everywhere sweep through you. As you feel your blood pulsing through your veins, as you feel the tingles, the sparks of life once again in your fingers. But to trust that layers have been shed, to trust that those stages and phases of metamorphosis are never ever really complete. But moment by moment, breath by breath, every time we come to our yoga mat, is this practice of shedding and being reborn, of dying and being reborn in every single moment. And that is the ultimate symbol of Shavasana, the death cycle, which is necessary for the rebirth. And so as you breathe more fully, more consciously, only when you feel ready to resurrect, to be reborn with movement, to follow those inner urges, the surges, with your embodied curiosity, with your organic free form, waking up of wrists, of ankle joints, of knees, of arms, of limbs. And eventually you can pour off to your favorite side and once again stay folded in the cocoon of your own embrace, of your own heart space. And once again, only when you feel right and ripe and ready, which maybe is different from me or different from the person participating simultaneously to you across the oceans. But maybe we can eventually press our way up to join each other in a finishing seat. You can be cross-legged or kneeling, letting the hands just rest really comfortably on the legs or in the lap. Palms can be up or down without overthinking anything. Just to feel yourself resting in the sanctum of your inner temple. This private meditation hall that is your body, that holds space for so much, that allows you to fall apart, to come back together, to fall apart, to come back together in this infinite cycle of death and rebirth, of the solar and the lunar energies dancing and playing, and where they are revealed to be two sides of the same coin, where they are revealed to be one. And so in this symbol, in this gesture of the hands coming together in Anjali Mudra at the heart, we honor this unified field of body, mind, heart, soul connection. As the forehead lightly bows to the seat of the soul, which is said to be rested in the heart center, we can meditate all together for a moment on the unified field that actually connects us all. The beingness from where we all derive. Just resting in that. To trust that this death, birth, death, rebirth cycle is actually what connects us all, beyond all of our separate parts. That even though we can't see how we are connected, there is this inseparable webs and threads of connection. That is the Tantra. That is literally the meaning of the word Tantra. The threads and the warps on the loom of life and existence. The beingness, the vast cosmic aquarium from which we all come from. Full inhale breath through the nose. An open mouth exhale to release. Inhale for the sound of Om, one time to seal. Namaste.